Banks do not want to lend to MSMEs when they have to take a direct credit exposure on the MSME. Banks are willing to take a Reliance or an Amazon or a Flipkart risk, correct?
Okay.
Versus taking a risk of a small startup or a small vendor. We got them to sign bilateral agreements where the credit risk was sitting on the large corporate and their vendors and dealers were getting. On the due date, the large corporate would pay the bank directly, so there was no real credit risk. What's important for an entrepreneur to realize is, fashion, fads, themes will come and go. Right? So AI is the theme of the day. Something else, cloud was the theme of the day a few years ago. B2B businesses. I think what's really important is what are you passionate about? Whether it uses tech, whether it doesn't use tech. Are you solving a large enough problem that you can wake up in the morning and say, I want to go to work? The yardstick of success is, how frugally have we been able to build a profitable business? It's important to realize that that's not the yardstick of success. That is because you have been successful. And you've been able to attract capital because you've been able to build in a good company, a great product, not vice versa.
Not just a magazine, club for the most intentful builders of India.
So I was thinking that my entrepreneurial journey started about 25 years ago when I was studying in Michigan in my second year. That's when, the internet was just about being born and it was becoming exciting all over the world. So we built a company which focused on building e-commerce business application software for, initially for startups in India. And then that company went global and started working with very large multinationals in the US, Europe, Asia Pacific markets. We then sold that company in 2008, and I had some time on my hands and I was looking for my next venture. And that's when, during one of my travels, I landed up in Indonesia, in Jakarta, and there there was this unique energy boom happening in 2008, and a lot of coal was being exported to China and India and other markets. So that kind of intrigued me, and we said that, look, is there an opportunity to build a commodities and mining business? This was completely different from what I had done for the first 10 years, but but some great mentors, some great friends along the way helped. Right. And then we built Equentia Natural Resources. Two of us, Rajiv and I, and Rajiv moved from Mumbai to Jakarta to source coal for us. And I was based in Mumbai, and we incorporated the business out of Singapore. And, what was interesting is, as a startup at that time, banks looked at, startup businesses in the commodity space very, very differently. So we, within the first 6 months of setting up shop, we got very large banks to give us credit facilities to import coal. And we started building from there. And then from commodities like coal, coking coal, etc., we went into mining. We acquired mining assets in Africa and Indonesia. And I kept building that business with Rajiv till 2016. And then 2016, we decided that, the business had matured. We had reached a fairly large scale. And as a group, we thought, we should start looking at diversifying. So I started actively investing in the Indian startup ecosystem at that, who fortunately for him married my sister also. So Ram was building his own logistics business at that time in India. And in his experience, finding working capital with banks was extremely hard. So banks would not discount invoices of very large customers that we had. And one day he came to me and said, look, this is crazy. I've got, invoices of the likes of InfoSales of Amazon, of really large companies, and no NBFC and no bank wants to give me, working capital. And this was very contrary to my experience, right? When I was so I said, if this is such a large problem in India, I think there's a great opportunity for us to build a working capital business. And
you did not face that problem because you were based out of Singapore at that time, right?
Correct. Correct. And banks in Switzerland, in Singapore, in developed
Yeah.
market,
Yeah.
understood working capital, understood commodities really well.
Makes sense.
And in India, that was completely the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So when Ram came to me with this problem, we thought it's a great opportunity to build something meaningful, and that's how CredAble was born.
Okay, got it. So, but the first problem which you started CredAble was because the banks were never agreeing to lend money to the MSMEs, right? So then, how did you ended up onboarding 50 odd banks from India itself?
No, so great question. See, banks do not want to lend to MSMEs when they have to take a direct credit exposure on the MSME. But
Okay.
let's assume you are a vendor for a very large company, right? And if the large company is on the platform, they are uploading invoices on the platform, and the bank is then discounting those invoices. The credit risk no longer sits on the vendor; it sits on the large company. So banks are willing to take a Reliance risk or an Amazon risk or a Flipkart risk, correct?
Okay.
Versus taking a risk of a small startup or a small vendor.
Okay, got it.
Which is exactly what we enabled through the platform. So we got very large corporates on one side, we got banks on the other side. We got them to sign bilateral agreements where the credit risk was sitting on the large corporate, and but their vendors and dealers were getting.
Wow. So you had a win-win situation, like because the large corporates are also struggling from a level because the vendors were not able to cater to their needs due to working capital deficiencies, right? And working capital deficiencies was because the banks we used to not lend because banks did not have a credit-worthy partner. So you actually helped the large corporates partner with the banks where the MSMEs were also benefiting because they got their working capital, large corporates got their services or the product which they required, and the banks also got a goodwill to support their credit worthiness too.
No, absolutely. And on the due date, the large corporate would pay the bank directly. So there was no real credit risk that the bank.
Okay, right. So everyone was benefiting from this entire cycle.
Absolutely.
Right. And CredAble was the one who built the technology which was actually, running this entire cycle. Right.
So not only did we build the technology, we went and acquired the large corporate customer. We went and partnered with banks. And then we started working with vendors and dealers and onboarding them, explaining to them what the platform does, getting them to participate on the platform. And look, over the last 12 months, we've dispersed now close to 85,000 crores on the platform. So that's been very, very heartening to see that, that kind of working capital has been made available to the vendor community in India.
Now, sir, I would like to know more about CredAble. Like, what model does CredAble work on? Like, I get it that it supports MSMEs with working capital, and it has done a very big number in providing the working capital. But how does the supply and work for you? Where do you get the money from? How does the MSME get to know about CredAble for the first time?
Sure. So if you look at CredAble, the problem we wanted to solve was to enable working capital across the corporate value chain in India initially and then globally. So when you think about the corporate value chain in India, at the highest end, you have your multinationals, your large conglomerates, your Amazons of the world and Reliance of the world. Then you have your mid-market corporates, emerging companies, and then finally at the bottom, you have your SMEs. And somewhere connecting all of this are financial institutions like banks and NPAs.
Right.
So we said, if we want to kind of enable working capital to flow through SMEs, we need to figure out where those SMEs live in the first place. Where is the largest ecosystem of SMEs in the country? And we realized that large businesses have lots of vendors and dealers and distributors who are small businesses.
Yeah, correct.
So we said, look, I think if we want to really make an impact, we can't do it alone with technology. So we need to combine SaaS and we need to combine lending through our own balance sheet to be able to make a massive impact. So we went out and built a bunch of digital platforms that enabled both receivables and payables financing for vendors, dealers, distributors of large corporates, and then started licensing those platforms as a SaaS platform to very large companies in India. Once we did that and we integrated into their core ERP systems, we started onboarding their customers, their vendors, their dealers. We also onboarded, 50 odd banks onto the platform. And that helped us enable a digital flow of working capital financing
Got it.
to that ecosystem.
And
Now, as we were building the platform, we started looking to license this platform to banks globally so that they could take it to their customers as well. So that became our entire SaaS play offering.
right.
And parallelly, we built our own NBFC within the first year of setting up CredAble. And the idea was to use our own balance sheet to do all sorts of working capital, short-term working capital financing to this vendor ecosystem that we were capturing through our SaaS business.
Right.
So today we operate as two verticals. We have the SaaS vertical where we license our technology to large corporations globally, and we also license all our tech platforms to banks globally. We today operate in Australia, in the entire Southeast Asia market, in the Middle East, in Europe, in London.
Right.
We've got customers all over this space. While our lending business is very focused on Indian SMEs and Indian market and emerging corporates. So that's where we are today.
Okay, got it. So, sir, so I see one pattern in whatever you told right now. You have always had a co-founder, and I don't think in technology business did you have a co-founder there?
Yeah, I had two. In fact, we were three of us in the technology business.
All of three your college buddies, like
one was my college buddy, one was my cousin.
Got it. So like that helps you go on running, right? So you could pivot from your core business to CredAble only because Rajiv sir was in the back of the business.
Absolutely, undoubtedly. I mean, I think I've been blessed with great partners. Whether it was in CTech, which was my first company, or ENR, which is my current code, or CredAble. I got blessed with phenomenal co-founders.
Got it, sir. Sir, if you don't mind, could you give me your family background? Like, what business was your family into before you even begin CTech?
Sure. My family was into manufacturing of seamless stainless steel tubes. This was a business set up by my grandfather, which my father and my uncle then were managing. But I never actually got involved in that business at all. So I was, but I got the gene of entrepreneurship from my grandfather. So he has been my greatest idol and my greatest mentor.
Yeah. Great. So family was into stainless steel, but you never, even pivoted there at all in your life until now, I think.
No, I haven't. That business was very well established. It went through its ups and downs. By then I was on my own path, so there was really no and there was no real intersection between the two. So we decided to continue on our own journey.
Right. Second question would be that someone starting out to build a fintech company, what would you suggest that if they are low in working, like in capital only, like to invest capital, what should they start with?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, I think look, when we set up CredAble, we were very, very clear that we're going to build a SaaS and a lending business together. We're not going to build just a SaaS business or just an NPAs. As you know, that both these businesses require capital to be meaningful, and they require a lot of capital to scale to achieve the vision that we wanted. Right. So while the founder, so we raised now I think a little over $50 million to date. A large part of that money has been put in by founders, but we also wanted external investors to partner with us in the journey. So and all our investors have been phenomenal partners. They've supported us through all our rounds of funding from the beginning. But an NBFC business, you must understand, is a capital intensive business. So the more capital you have, the more you can grow. Also, your SaaS business is a patient business. It takes a long time to build a product, get a product market fit. You're talking about some of the world's largest banks licensing your technology, and this is a core part of their technology. Right? It's not something which is good to have.
Yeah.
So it takes time to establish that product market fit, which all of which need patient capital. So we wanted to not only the founders want to put in the capital, wanted to partner with the right set of investors who understood this
Business.
game. Correct. Like I said, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. So
Yeah.
we're still 8 years old. The second part of your question is, look, I think, if you want to set up a fintech company, you want to set up any business, I would delay raising capital as much as I can. So I would be very prudent about cost. I would be very prudent about, establishing my product market fit, establishing, customer acceptance, reaching a point where, I'm not raising capital to survive. I'm raising capital to grow.
Correct.
So I think, we as entrepreneurs sometimes think it's that the yardstick of success is what valuation have you raised, what money's at, who are your investors, are they marquee investors? I don't think that's the yardstick of success. The yardstick of success is, how frugally have we been able to build a profitable business?
Makes sense. Correct.
I think that's really what's important. That's really what's important for entrepreneurs to understand.
Right.
So while it's great to, get world-class investors and great names,
Right.
but it's important to get them at the right time. It's important,
Right.
and it's important to realize that that's not the yardstick of success. That is because you have been successful.
And
You've been able
correct.
to attract capital because you've been able to build a good company or a great product.
Right.
Not vice versa, right?
Right. So capital should always be used to scale, not to survive.
Absolutely. I don't think you should ever build a business where you need capital to survive.
Right. My next question would be, what do you think, sir, what the future holds on, not on credible, but what the future holds on anyone who's building right now should focus on majorly in terms of skills also, and in terms of, let's say, sector also in fintech itself. Like you went into MSME lending space, for example, in a niche, right, which was at that time a very big problem. But right now, in terms of finance as an industry or fintech as an industry, because finance, like today's time, anything without tech is just not at all logical or scalable, right? So what, as per you, would the future hold in finance industry?
Yeah, I would beg to differ here. I also run a commodities business which has no technology and it's extremely scalable. But look, I think what's important for an entrepreneur to realize is, fashion, fads, themes will come and go, right? So AI is the theme of the day. Something else, cloud was the theme of the day a few years ago. B2B businesses were a theme. BNPL was a theme. So the themes come and go, correct?
Yeah.
I think what's really important is, what are you passionate about? Whether it uses tech, whether it doesn't use tech, are you solving a large enough problem that you can wake up in the morning and say, I want to go to work? Right? And you can enable your entire team, your organization to be as excited and wake up in the morning and say, I want to go to work. I think if you can find that niche, then it doesn't matter what area you operate in. I've seen some great businesses doing, really, really non-tech things and building great business, great value. So I don't particularly think that, one theme or the other is important. What's important is, what are you passionate about? If you are passionate about building a band and organizing events, absolutely, do that.
Because as you said, 10 years is an overnight success. So if you can do something for 10 years, it is only because you're passionate about it.
Correct. And I think as long as you are focused, you're passionate, you're trying to address a large enough market, and you're building responsibly, and you're thinking about people, your team, etc., your customers, your investors, I think any business is a great business to build.
Correct.
Of course, every now and then you will find pockets of opportunity, but you can't kind of capture every opportunity. So
right.
So when you're passionate about something, you will start creating opportunities in that space.
Right. So, sir, what are you passionate about? Because like you have done three totally different businesses in your life. Obviously, they might have some integration between it, which have helped you do the another business, but not at all like proposition like they are totally different only.
I'm really passionate about building anything from scratch.
Yeah.
That
Creation is your passion.
Yeah, so creating
Yeah.
any, and look, I truly enjoy being thorough about anything I do. I don't like to be superficial in any topic that I choose. So if I enjoy food, then I will go into the depths of understanding food and cooking, and I'll really try and get to a to an area where I think that there is enough expertise to talk about it.
Correct.
So uh, I'm very passionate about being deep into anything that I do. And creation, like you rightly said, is something that I'm deeply connected to and deeply passionate about.
Right.
Uh, Also, I think I just love being around people like who are smarter than me. I think that fuels me, that motivates me, that challenges me, and that helps me grow and learn every day. So I think those two things would are what really drive me.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. Perfect. Never raise capital on the first day. Not to survive at least. Not It's not about the first day, but it's about survival. Never raise capital for survival. Raise
Yeah.
capital for scale. And if not needed, don't raise capital. Capital raising is not the main point. Profitability and building a business is the main point
Yeah, and
around it.
yeah,
Right.
don't start judging yourself from the yardstick that I've raised capital, I'm successful.
Yeah, because that's the current trend, as you said, right?
That's
So
the
that might go away. Tomorrow, profitability might be cool, but you don't have profitability. You just have the numbers of valuation and funding.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think fundamentals of business don't change.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like I said,
Hmm.
it's always great to attract world-class capital, but also remember that you need to drive value for that capital.
Right.
Somebody
Right.
who invests in you is taking a call and is trusting you to deliver value.
Right.
So as entrepreneurs, we cannot take that lightly. It's a huge responsibility. So if I'm taking your money, it is absolutely my responsibility to ensure that you go away wealthy.
Right. Correct.
Correct. So it is
Makes
important.
sense.
So the more you delay it, the more responsibly you can deal with it. Is what I
Perfect. Perfect.